Welcome to Session 9, Enhancing Resilience. So in previous sessions, we've touched on stress and how mindfulness practice can help with it. And so in this session, I want to explore the topic a bit more in depth by touching on resilience. I wanted to spend time talking about resilience because when you stop and think about it, human beings are remarkably resilient creatures. We find one way or another to manage, persevere, to survive, often in the face of really difficult things. And even with all these hardships and challenges, we still find moments of peace and pleasure. We really are expert copers and problem solvers. We cope in all sorts of ways, whether it's through sheer determination, through using our creativity and imagination, through things like prayer or religious beliefs, or making ourselves a part of a community that makes us feel a purpose. And so, looking more at resilience, we want to understand what is it and how to enhance it. So I'm using the definition of resilience as the ability to withstand and overcome catastrophe. This is basically highlighting that it's bouncing back from hardship. It's not about living a life free from challenges. It's not about removing these challenges for our life in order for us to feel more resilient. It's about how do we more quickly and more adaptively and successfully bounce back from the hardships that are going to come. Everybody goes through a tough time now and again. It's not a mistake if painful events happen to us. That's just how things are supposed to be. Resilient people can greet change and difficulty as an opportunity for self-reflection, learning, and growth, rather than fighting it and believing that it shouldn't be that way. Resilience is not dichotomous. It's not something that you either have or don't have. It's something that is within each of us and is really influenced by our thoughts, behaviors, and attitudes, and what those look and sound like for us. Resilience really is something that we can improve upon and enhance. And something like a regular mindfulness practice, often one that includes self-compassion, really can enhance resilience. Why do we need resilience? Because we can't change our genetic predisposition, and we can't really do all that much to control every event in our life. But what we can do, where we can put our efforts, is in augmenting our internal resources. We can make a conscious effort to use these resources so that we're able to then support ourselves more and to be able to call upon them when we need them. Difficult emotions, such as fear, anger, sadness, these are not the enemy. It's really our reactivity towards these difficult emotions that are most harmful for us. And so through a mindfulness and compassion-focused practice, what we're really trying to do is shift from being caught up in the story of the particular moment and to notice with compassionate attention what's really happening for us and what would be most helpful for us in that moment. And this is really not only a shift in the way we react, but it's a shift in our neural pathways. We're shifting from lower brain structures, ones that were a bit more primitive, formed first for us, and that are more around reactivity and fear-based emotional processing. And we want to then be able to shift into using our higher brain structures, the parts of our brain that form later for us as humans, the ones that have abstract reasoning and executive functioning and more regulated emotional processing. When we see our thoughts and feelings clearly, we can then offer compassion for the hardship that we're experiencing. And in doing so, we can increase our resilience. So now I'm just going to touch on a few strategies for enhancing resilience, things to think about and focus in on to help grow our resilience and support it. The first is accept. And this is really around accepting that change is inevitable and a part of living. And we've touched on this a lot in this course, that impermanence really is a central tenet of mindfulness. That in our mindfulness practice, we are constantly noticing that everything is changing moment by moment, and hopefully learning to accept this in each moment as best as we can, rather than trying to force something that isn't there or isn't the way we want, and increase that tension for us. And next is to stay flexible. This is about keeping perspective, not collapsing when problems happen to us, but using our mindfulness practice to stay open and flexible while keeping an eye on the big picture. And hopefully the big picture will remind us the truth that this is not something that's only happening to us, but to many people, not making it so small and personal. And next, cultivate. This is about cultivating a positive view of yourself, to really work on trusting yourself, being able to rely on yourself, and learning to listen to your own instincts and hopefully develop more confidence. And self-compassion is something that really can help grow and support this. And next, connect. The connect is about creating and maintaining connections, and really being able to give ourselves permission to accept help when we need it, and also to be able to offer help to others when possible. And in this way, stay engaged in family, friends, community, this kind of connecting in with others and growing our supportive personal relationships, and hopefully purposeful ones as well. And then next, self-care. Always very important to take care of yourself. Attend to your feelings and your needs, and pay attention to the demands of your physical body even. When do you need to rest? When do you need to nourish it? Where does meditation fit in with this? How do you take care of your mind, your body? And this is another one that self-compassion, of course, can really support. And lastly, rethink. We want to be able to see crises as challenges for growth rather than being insurmountable problems of ours. Stressful events happen to everyone. We want to keep that at the fore of our mind, and with our practice, start to learn to roll with it in a sense. And hopefully mindfulness gives us the confidence that we can do that everything is workable. And as we have more experiences in which we bring this perspective, we begin to trust it more as we see it work for us. So take a look through these and see where you stand on each, and whether there are ways in which enhancing some of these for you, focusing in on them, might help to give you a better foundation for enhancing your own resilience. And lastly, our guided meditation for this session will be a guided imagery mountain meditation in which you bring to mind a mountain and it's all of its grounded stability and strength, and imagine bringing that into your own body to be able to draw from and use its strength and groundedness and stability and so on. So give it a try.